Take a seat. Isn't that one of the best views of Melbourne? And we are, of course, at the Carousel, which is bird's eye view of all that gorgeous skyline. You're going to have a great day. It's your chance to kind of sit back and relax and get taught by us for a change. Heston, what are you cooking?
I'm doing roast chicken, roast potatoes, gravy.
I'm excited about this because it sounds simple, it's a homely dish.
Yeah.
Roast chicken.
Roast chicken, roast potatoes, bit of gravy. It's just showing how lots of little steps can make a big difference. They really do. So we'll start with the potatoes first. So these potatoes are Royal Blues. Sometimes you can cut them in quarters, but sometimes if the potato's too small, you'll end up with the quarters will be too small, so you'll cut them in half. And then just whack them in a bowl. Just leave them under running water for a few minutes.
So what's that to do?
So basically, when the water runs, you're washing the excess starch out of the potato. You're going to get excess starch out because it'll stop the potato going crispy. You'll notice that when you put the water over these, it'll start to go a little bit cloudy, and then it will clear. So now for the stock, this is from the week before. What you've got left over from your roast, carcass, there's some carrots, onions, whack all this stuff in, and then just pop about a litre of water on top of it, something like that. So we're going to let that come up. You'll see when the steam's coming out, and then we'll let that cook. But 30, 45 minutes is fine. Meanwhile, potatoes.
Yep.
So whack those on the heat.
So while we've got the stock on,
Yep.
potatoes are happening,
Yep.
the chicken.
So we're going to brine this. The brine is basically salt dissolved in water. You can put herbs and spices and other things in it, but salt in water. For every litre of water, 60 grams of salt. Dissolve it, and then just pop the chicken in that brine and then leave it. Does something to the proteins in the meat, which enables them to hold on to more moisture after the cooking or through the cooking process. Leave that in for 3 hours, 4 hours, something like that. Once the chicken's brined, just take it out the salt, give it a little quick rinse, pat it dry, and then it's ready.
You've brined that one, yeah? That's done?
Yep.
Great. Yeah, give it to me.
Thanks very much. Now, the potatoes. This first cooking stage is critical. They should be cooked until they're about to fall apart. Fat does not go into a potato unless there is a crack, a fissure in there. So you need to make those cracks to get that, that really delicious, juicy, glass-like crust in a potato. That only gets like that because it's all broken up. You see, they need to start breaking up like that. That's really important, and it needs those cracks. Don't worry about, keeping them nice and round and beautiful. Beautiful doesn't always work. And then they can probably do it a bit more roughen up. So
just give them a bit of a
shake. You'll see the steam that's coming off. As that steam's being driven off, they're dry. Be careful when they're hot and wet like that, they're very delicate. So as they cool down, they'll start, as the steam gets driven off, the pressure from there will start to open the potatoes out more. You can see already. And they'll start to crack more.
So just straight onto here?
Yeah.
OK, so while they're cooling down,
yep.
stock's going on,
yep.
What do we need to do to that chicken?
The chicken's been taken out of the brine, it's been a little rinse, patted dry, it's ready to go into the oven. Before that, though, just got some onions, carrots, chopped up, added some extra wingtips, and dusted them with milk powder. What the milk powder does, it won't taste the milk, it just makes the stock more meaty, it boosts the meaty flavours. So giving that a dusting of that, whacked it in the oven, and there it is. Now, just before I roast the chicken, I'm going to stuff it with a lemon, very simple, I'm doing this just to, it'll just release some of the juices inside the lemon. Also, what you're doing is you release all the lemon oils, so it gets much more fragrant. And then just make some incisions into the lemon. Take a generous bunch of thyme. Put that in. Put the lemon in. Then take a little bit of butter. This is only really just to give a bit of a glaze to the skin of the chicken. It doesn't have to be covered, they'll just melt over the skin of the chicken. Thank you. What we're looking for is the internal temperature of the breast of about 60 to 65 degrees centigrade. So I would cook the oven. It's about time and temperature. Depends how much time you've got. You can go up to 100. It'll be quicker.
Right, so stock's on. Potatoes are cooling down, doing their thing. You've got all these roasted bones. You've got the chicken on top that you've stuffed. It's been brinded, rubbed in butter.
Yep.
Now, what happens?
In the oven.
So that's been in the oven for how long?
This has been in for a couple of hours.
Now, do you let that rest?
Now let that rest. And a lot of people are surprised at this, but this is a good 40 minutes to rest this.
Wow.
And it will keep its heat. It's going to continue to cook. If you were to carve that chicken now, or in 10 minutes' time, you'll see all the steam coming out. And all that steam coming out is moisture that you've done all the work to keep in. So just leave it. It'll continue, finish off cooking, it'll get to the plateau, and then it'll relax. And all the fibres in there will start to relax, and they'll hold the juices. You'll end up with a piece of chicken that's much juicier. So we'll whack the potatoes in. And then when they're in the pan, just turn them over so they're all coated in oil, and then leave them on the cut side. Fat side. And then we'll turn them later, but let them spend most of the time.
Salt at this point or not?
No, I tend to add salt.
At the end?
At the end,
OK.
yeah. If you add salt now, it can tend to draw a bit more moisture out, and it can make the potato, the crust, a little bit chewy sometimes. So leave the salt until the end. We whack the oven up now to 180, and then leave them in. 45 minutes is probably the minimum. So you really get that, you really want that crust to develop. So now the sauce. Pop this onto the heat. So this was the tray that the chicken was roasting on top of. Get that on the heat and just start getting that frying. So here's the pressure cooked stock, cooled down, strained through a sieve, and that's it. And it's just naturally set with the gelatin that's in the meat.
And you can make that well in advance, put them in the freezer.
Oh, freezes. It freezes easily. Some white wine. And then we'll reduce that down by about between 2/3 and 3/4.
So once that's reduced, where do we put that?
Put that back into the pressure cooker. Now, you don't have to do this, but the pressure cooker, again, if you've got it to hand, you get more flavour from it. So this is what we call it's a double stock. I'm now adding in the pressure cooked stock.
Wow.
From what was left over from the roast from the week before, into the pressure cooker with the wingtips and the veg that the chicken was roasted on top of. Cook it for about 40-odd minutes, cool down, strain it through a sieve, and reduce it.
And you get this.
And you get this.
Which is liquid gold.
Oh, actually, yeah.
Wow, look how jelly-like.
So now the potatoes. So when the potatoes are looking like they're nearly there, probably say 20 minutes away, crank the oven up to about 250. This is.
Yep.
And the reason for that is because the chicken's been cooked at a lower temperature to keep all the moisture in. So obviously the skin hasn't been browned. It's still warm, but it's cooled down enough that'll allow the oven to brown the skin without taking the meat too high and drying it out. So this is now the last stage where the chicken goes in for a blitz for 10 minutes, just to brown the skin.
Right, so we'll basically pop that on that.
Yep.
Yep.
So this the double pressure cooked stock. We've just melted it, come up to the heat, add some beurre noisette, cook butter until all the proteins start to brown. We'll probably go for between 1 and 2 dessert spoons, I think. Enough for this. Take them off. And then one thing that's really important, and that's acidity and mustard. It does have vinegar and mustard. Lemon juice puts acidity in, but lemon juice has a lot of flavour. That's just had a bit of sherry vinegar, a little bit of mustard, put Dijon in, not English, it's too hot. And now I'm going to just, right at the end, put a couple of sprigs of tarragon in.
Yeah.
And then we'll carve the chicken.
Chicken first?
Yeah, and then do the potatoes.
Look at that skin. Oh,
So we're carving the chicken. Just take the wings, tips off, legs. So that's now ready for your next stop.
yum.
And then for the actual breasts, carve them across the grain. So it'll be like that. Then the potatoes.
Oh, my gosh. Oh. Wow. Season?
Yep. And wax them. There, and then some sauce.
That is beautiful.
Okay, then just...
Something so simple, but so delicious. Who wants to taste? Trent, Alina, come on.
Get that sauce.
That sauce.
It's good, huh? Hey?
Oh, so
That's
good.
incredible, that sauce. Far out.
Today you're going to be cooking a dish that's one of life's great pleasures. But it's also the true test of the home cook. And when you nail it, it hugs you like a warm blanket of deliciousness. Nigella, do you want a real dish?
I really do. If I had to choose my last meal on earth, this would be it. Today, you're cooking roast chicken.
So, guys, today you're roasting a chook. But that's not all.
Of course. That's not.
Today, we want an amazing, delicious, incredible roast chicken with 2 hot sides and a gravy.
I'm having a bit of a blank because I don't eat roast chicken and I don't know what you eat with roast chicken, so I'm freaking out right now.
Matt, what makes a great roast chicken dinner for you?
The ideal thing for me with roast chicken has to be crunchy roast potatoes. I think it's almost illegal to serve roast chicken without beautiful, golden, crunchy roast potatoes. Gary?
I know at my family table, if there's not enough gravy, then there's hell to pay.
And I have to say also, I am more permissive than you because I also think mashed potatoes are good with roast chicken. I'm not sure it absolutely has to be roast.
And the whole thing about it is
And I
anything
think
can go with it.
anything, because the thing is, when you cook, what you're really expressing is your palate, and that's what's the most important thing.
So, you have 90 minutes to bring us the perfect roast chicken with 2 sides of your choice. They just have to be hot.
90 minutes probably seems like a long time, but to get a whole roast chicken, Nigella's whole roast chicken done and 2 sides as well as a sauce, it's going to be quite hard.
The recipe for the roast chicken is at your bench. Everything else is up to you. Nigella, you do the honours?
We'll all be nervous, but try and enjoy it. It's a wonderful thing. So good luck, everyone. Your time starts now.
The first thing that I need to do is start reading this recipe and getting this chicken into the oven as soon as I can so that it's perfectly cooked.
Absolutely fighting for my life today. I'm excited about the cook. I do cook roast chicken sides a fair bit for my family, so yeah, I'm excited.
So, 4 leafy tarragon sprigs. This is not just any old roast chicken. It's got this gorgeous tarragon butter layer under the skin, and then it's perfectly golden all over. This is a masterpiece. If I tell you my dirty little secret, it's that I usually buy a barbecued chook, but I do occasionally roast chicken on Christmas, so I love it to be golden and brown and definitely with crunchy roast potatoes. To make this tarragon butter, I need to strip the leaves off the tarragon sprigs, put the stalks in the pan, and use the leaves in the butter.
That's one sprig, right?
Yep.
So much tarragon.
Right, so 60 grams of softened butter. I combine the butter, tarragon leaves, some salt and pepper.
So I need 1 teaspoon of sherry fino, okay?
I add some sherry and combined it.
Use your fingers, separate, make sure not to tear the skin, okay?
Next, I need to separate the skin from the chicken breast so that there's a beautiful pocket for a layer of butter.
Okay.
Looking good, Mandy. And what you're cooking looks good too.
I've completed the tarragon butter and now I have to stuff that carefully underneath the skin. I've done that 1,000 times before.
You're a natural, Mandy.
But also, you can't afford to get too cocky here because if I break that skin, it's game over.
Minutes down, you should have your chook in the oven now. This is all about timing this pressure test. You don't want to fall behind.
Roast the chicken for 1 hour.
Come on, Leah, come on.
The sauce and the sides for this chicken dish today are going to be what makes it stand apart from everyone else's. So mine has to be perfect.
Abbey, how's that going?
Good.
What are you giving us?
So I'm going to do some Hasselback sort of style potatoes. I'm thinking of doing like a garlic and sort of lemon rind crumb over the top. And then I'm going to do some roasted fennel and get some sort of slices of the lemon in there to sort of echo it.
So in a way you're keeping to the tarragon, the aniseed of the tarragon and then the fennel and the lemon.
I don't want to complicate with too many flavours, so I'm going to keep it simple but do it beautifully.
Well, I have to say it sounds great.
I like that. Really like that. Good work. Keep up.
Everything needs to be done at the same time and served up in one go, so I'm running around like a headless chicken, which is perfect for this challenge.
Ooh, Abbey. Beautiful colour.
I decided to take the chicken out early and just follow my intuitive sort of cooking style that I would do at home, and it's a bit scary.
I need a lot of flavour in my jus. It will just add to the beautiful chicken. And I just need my veggies to come along and sort of crisp up. I've had a few things in the oven together, so the potatoes are taking a bit longer than I need.
I check on my potatoes and I'm a little bit worried at how they're cooking. At home, I feel like they would have almost been cooked by now, but I'm a little worried that they're not. They're not crisping as much as I'd like, so I wouldn't usually do this, but I decided to turn them over just to get a little bit of a brownness from the bottom of the pan happening. This has to be perfect. It all has to be perfect.
Go, guys. Come on.
5 minutes!
Come on. 5 minutes! Come on, come on.
5 minutes!
Come on, let's go.
Come on!
Come on, guys, keep going. You're on the home stretch. You're almost there. You're doing so well. Come on. Abbey, how you going?
Good.
Well done, babe.
3 minutes. Good work, Mandy. Play it up. Make sure there's enough gravy for all of them.
Don't forget the sides, everyone.
God, I can't bear it.
No.
I thought that they're not going to get everything on the board.
Nice, Leah. Great potatoes. Good stuff.
There's 3 minutes left to go and I'm not happy with my potatoes. They have to be perfect, so I get them straight into a pan of butter.
Come on, Abbey.
I want them to be super crispy and have that beautiful, decadent, buttery taste that I really love so much. I chuck some beautiful fresh tarragon in and I'm just drowning them in butter.
Come on, Abbey, get it on the plate.
But I think I'm down to the last minute.
1 minute to go. 1 minute. 1 minute.
Listen up. 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Time's up. Well done.
I feel like I have. There's so much flavour in that dish and in that combination, and I'm really proud of what I did. I don't really have any regrets.
Abbey, fingers crossed, you've done your job. You've worked your heart off today, and that's all that matters.
Thanks, guys.
It looks good, doesn't it?
It does.
It does. Those look good.
I mean, these potatoes, there's no way they're not going to be crunchy and full of flavour, is it?
That's beautiful, that golden skin there.
That looks really nicely cooked.
I'm sorry, I can't wait. I've got to have a bit of this. That is divine.
Let's be honest, best looking dish so far.
Look at this. Look how golden. Look at all these
Yeah, it's
colours.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Isn't that beautiful?
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Oh, yum.
It's good, isn't it?
Wow.
Oh, yum.
Oh my God.
Lemon on the fennel. I was really worried when I saw the potatoes not working. I really thought that was it. This is singing. This was just pleasure on a plate.
Yeah, great.
The feeling for flavour in it is so good. It's both hearty but refined at the same time, which I really love.
Chicken cooked beautifully. The fennel soft and delicious. The sauce is seasoned right to the edge, but it helps everything tie together.
You know, when we talk about MasterChef it up, this is a proper restaurant dish. It's sophisticated, the sauce is delicious, it delivers in spades.
The really great roast chicken meals are a warm hug of deliciousness, and that's exactly what this plate is. It's a delicious dish.
Yeah.
This roast.
What we want is a fine dining take on the roast. We want you to keep that sense of comfort, but we want you to master chef it.
You're gonna have 2 hours. We want 3 individual plates of food. You must at least have 3 sides to your roast. And one of those sides must include potatoes. What would a roast be without potatoes? Now, everything you need is in the pantry. It's simple. Make our mouths water. Do that, be safe. Don't do that, we'll definitely be going home. Now, you 3, you ready to cook?
Yes, George.
Your time starts now.
I have fond memories of cooking roasts for my family.
That's really nice, Dad.
I'm really drawing inspiration from those memories for today's dish.
The judges didn't want a classic roast.
So this is going to be a tough challenge. I need to make sure that this dish looks like it's come out of a restaurant, but still has the essence of a roast chicken. So today I'm making a stuffed chicken roulade with macadamia and honey, a pumpkin puree, caramelised onions, pomme dauphine, and a chicken jus. Doing a roulade allows me to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, so to speak. It's a much more refined way of presenting the chicken. And it takes much less time to cook, so it gives me more time to focus on those side dishes and the sauce.
Make sure those gravies are beautiful, boys. That's the best bit.
The secret to a good sauce is to really get a lot of flavour in there, lots of caramelisation of the bones and the vegetables, and then just allow it to reduce over a long period of time to really intensify that flavour. I need to keep things simple, focus on 3 side elements done really well with the chicken, and that's what's going to get me through today. I've really got to start working on my 3 vegetable elements. I've decided to do a pumpkin puree, so I need to get that pumpkin into the oven and roast it up to get some flavour into it now. Roast pumpkin is a classic with any sort of roast dish, but turning it into a puree, I think, will give it a little bit more complexity.
It smells good already.
Now I need to start making the stuffing for this roulade. For the stuffing mixture, I've got the macadamias, which I chop up finely. I've cooked the shallots and I'm adding some thyme, but I want a little bit of sweetness in there as well, and I think honey and thyme will work really nicely. I want to make sure that I'm making good decisions that impresses the judges, and hopefully it keeps me in the competition. The stuffing for the roulade's looking good, the pumpkin's in the oven roasting away. I need to get these potatoes going. We have to feature potato as one of our sides, and I really want to do something a little bit different.
Matthew?
How's it going?
What are the bits we're going to be looking for? We go, oh, wow, Matthew, well done.
Well,
What a great
obviously, I think the pommes Dauphine, if they're cooked well. Pom? Yeah, I know. I rely on my daughter to teach me French at home.
That's all right. Made it before?
Yes. So it's mashed potato, choux pastry, a little bit of Kaiserfleisch in there.
Right, so crispy potatoes, white, delicious, not eggy. I love them if they're done well. They're really delicious.
Yes.
And you don't want to go home, do you?
No.
I'm really happy that the judges like my idea for the pomme Dauphine, but that adds a lot of pressure. If my pomme Dauphine don't meet their expectations, I'm going home.
It's about making your roast dinner a winner. 1 hour down, 1 hour to go. Come on.
It's time to move on to that chicken roulade.
Matt, do you want to lay out a cling film?
Yeah, it's probably not a bad idea. Obviously, while you're up there and I'm down here, mate.
Up here's for thinking, down there's for cooking.
Thanks, guys.
I know I need to have that cooked well. I can't serve raw chicken to the judges, so it's important that I get it into the sous vide machine to cook straight away.
Matt, are you going to pan fry them at the end?
Yeah.
Yum, smells good.
I need to move on to the potato element of the dish. Gary and George are really excited about the idea of the pomme Dauphine, so I really have to nail it. That means getting the ratio of potato to choux pastry just right.
So that's your choux pastry?
Choux pastry.
Put enough egg in?
I've got 3 eggs in there.
You know what I always look for when I'm making choux pastry? It's shiny in the fold, all right?
The choux pastry is important for this pomme Dauphine just to help bind that potato together and allow it to fry well.
Yeah, so.
Too much choux pastry will make it too stodgy, but I'm a little bit concerned. If I add too much potato, I know they're not going to hold together well when I fry them and they'll all fall apart. So I do a couple of test ones to make sure that the mixture's right.
It's not quite right, is it?
I don't think he likes it. I need to figure out what the problem is. We have to feature potato as one of our sides. If I don't get this element right, the pomme Dauphine is going to be a disaster.
Do you actually know what quantity of choux goes into the potato?
I think it should be about half-half.
Do you think?
I need to refine this choux and potato mix and do a few more tests. Hopefully I can save this.
Gentlemen, how are our 3 contestants going?
I think the strongest one of the bunch is Matthew. But I like the sound of his dish. He's doing pomme Dauphine, which is like a fried potato with choux pastry, which I think is going to be lovely if he nails it. It's just whether or not he can pull it together and put it on a plate.
I'm in a pretty good place right now. My pumpkin puree is done. I've caramelised some onion. My sauce tastes amazing. And the chicken's just about ready to come out of the sous vide. The only thing that's still troubling me are these pomme Dauphine.
Oh, did you retest?
I haven't retested it yet.
Oh, come on. This is... You know what? If you don't get this potato right, this is a game changer. The potato has to be right.
The potato has to be on the plate, so I've got to get them right. Otherwise, it's a one-way ticket home, and I'm not going to let that happen. With 10 minutes to go, I take the roulades out of the sous vide machine.
As always, time is ticking away faster than you would hope. But I think I'm on track. I've got to fry off my chicken, cook my pommes Dauphine, and just plate everything up, so nearly there.
I think I've got this pomme Dauphine working. My chicken's looking good. I've just got to finish it off in the pan. I really want beautiful round circles of roulade. Presentation has been something that hasn't been a strength of mine in the past. I'm really happy with the way the roulade looks. The chicken's nice and moist, and the honey, macadamia and thyme stuffing looks beautiful through the middle.
My potatoes are still lacking a bit of colour and crunch, so I'm going to leave them in the oven until the very last minute.
Come on, guys!
Bring us the roast with the most, or else you're toast. 30 seconds to go.
Jamie, what about your potatoes? Where are your potatoes?
What a brilliant cook this is!
I'm really happy with this dish. The roulade looks golden and roasty, the pumpkin puree is delicious. I just hope I've got the balance of the pomme dauphine right.
Thank you.
Matthew, yesterday you overreached yourself. Today?
I tried to be a lot more restrained. I think the last few weeks I've really improved, and I've been working hard, practicing, and you know I'm happy with what I've done.
Thank you, mate.
Thank you.
Thank you, mate. Great consistency across the board. I think he's done a fantastic job, and we were concerned about his plating up, and I think he's done a beautiful job. It's a beautiful plate of food. For me, it sings roast chicken.
Crispy things get me excited. Sauce gets me excited. It is a little small for me. It better be flavour plus. That's all I can say.
Well, let's find out.
Oi, is there any gravy left?
Matt Preston, roast chicken.
Better than roast chicken. Roast chicken you can eat with a spoon.
Yeah.
Genius.
That is absolutely smashing. The sauce is just wonderfully complex, super meaty. Chicken's cooked perfectly, and they're little pomme dauphine, but they're crispy, they're light, and they're very Moorish.
Huge amount of positives.
You know what, for me, I love those macadamia nuts. And they give you this lovely sort of squeaky crunch, and they're delicious.
How was the puree?
The puree's yum.
Fantastic.
And he roasted the pumpkin first and then pureed it. I think it just gives it that real intense sweetness and still reminds you of a roast chicken dinner.
And a real mark of how far Matthew's come. Right. I mean, not only in terms of flavour, but in terms of plating. I think he's done a great job.